Hey folks, it's Shondar, that science guy from the Great Lakes Science Center. So excited to be with you. And of course, with me today, I've got two members of one of the local high school robotics teams. Ladies, introduce yourselves.
My name's Jadisel. We're from Team 8222.
My name is Victoria, also from Team 8222.
And also, we have a very distinguished guest, a producer of a very exciting film that we cannot wait to see. The producer's name is David Cohen, and the name of the movie is Afghan Dreamers. Ladies, I know that you have some questions for David. I'll let you go ahead and begin.
What prompted you to want to tell a story of an all-girls robotics team from Afghanistan?
I was hanging out with my friends from college, and one of them started telling me this crazy story about how his wife was at a science conference for women, and they had invited these girls from Afghanistan and asked my friend if they would put up the girls kind of like exchange students so they could participate in this robotics competition. And and he told me the story of these girls, and frankly, I was just so inspired by them that I thought somebody needs to make a movie about them and tell everyone their fantastic story.
Can you tell us about some of the hardship the girls had to endure while pursuing their dream?
Yeah. What you're all doing in the robotics league is really hard. That's partly what makes it so much fun. And for these girls, they had all the challenges you have, plus they had other challenges as well. So for one thing, they didn't have all the great teachers and classes that you have where, for support. They and really everyone around them didn't know anything about robots or robotics or mechanical engineering. And so they really had to teach themselves. Another challenge is that there's a lot of sentiment in the area where they live, in the region where they live, that's very hostile towards girls' education. And so while many people in Afghanistan were very supportive of what the robotics team was doing there was another, really probably half of the country that viewed any kind of girls' education as contrary to their religious beliefs. And so those people really made it difficult for the girls, and even somewhat dangerous for them to pursue their dream. And during their competitions and rehearsals and travels, they and their families really faced the threat of violence constantly, to the point where at the end they even had to flee their homeland and leave Afghanistan.
Um, when you met them, what were they like? How you expected them to be?
I have to tell you that they are the most remarkable people, and meeting them has been one of the kind of great positive surprises of making this film. I will tell you about one young woman in particular, Samaya Faruqi, who today studies at a college in the United States, and she's taking right now chemistry, physics, calculus, mechanical engineering. I believe she's acing the classes, and while she's doing that, she's traveling around the world on behalf of the United Nations to raise awareness about the plight of Afghans and the degree to which girls and women there really have had their rights curtailed by the current Taliban regime. So she's simultaneously a warrior of global justice, while also she's got her head down and she's studying and doing great things. And all the girls I met are like Samaya, really inspirational, and really, makes me think that I can do better in my life if these young women can do what they're doing.
At the opportunity to meet them when they came to the United States to compete. One of the things that I do is I'm a game announcer for those robotic competitions, and I happen to be the one that was calling all of their matches when they were here. And I agree with you; they were absolutely amazing young ladies. Now, that was a few years ago. What are the girls doing now?
So, well, participating in the robotics competition really was an open door for them to learn about not just robotics, but also how to collaborate on a team in order to take on some really difficult challenges. And so, I would say that they've really parlayed those skills into the things they're doing today, whether it's studying mechanical engineering, as most of them are doing at various universities, either in the United States or in Europe or in Qatar, or they're just, or they are. In addition, they're also speaking out uh, to in defense of, as they say, their sisters back in Afghanistan, because today Afghanistan is the only country in the world where girls are not allowed to attend high school, and so they feel a duty to their friends back home to do everything they can to try to tell the world about what's going on in Afghanistan today. Hopefully, to bring some pressure to bear so that the Taliban will allow these girls to go to school.
David, we could spend all day with you asking you questions about these young ladies and the film. We know that your time is limited. Ladies, one last question for our guest.
Okay. What is the lesson that you hope viewers will leave the theater with?
I'll tell you, it changed while I was making the film. So when we started making the film and we were following these girls around, it was a movie about inspiration and triumph, and these girls who were leading the way as role models for other girls in Afghanistan, and how they were opening up the doors. And while we were making the film, history took a tragic turn, and the Afghan government fell to the Taliban and led to the humanitarian crisis that's there today. So if you ask me what my hope is about the message, it changed. And my hope now is that people understand how understand the love of freedom that the Afghans have, how the 20 years between the two Taliban regimes allowed Afghanistan to flourish, and especially the young people really embraced their ability to learn and to decide for themselves how to live. And I think what's so important is that the rest of the world not forget how how the people are really just yearning for the kinds of freedoms that we have here in our country.
Wow. Thank you so much, David. We can't wait to see the film. In fact, we'll have an opportunity to see the film before they compete next week. Thank you
Do I
so
get to ask
much.
some questions?
Oh, please do. They're
Great.
all yours.
Well, I'd love to hear what inspired you two to join the robotics team.
I would say, I don't know. I'm just a big fan of STEM and engineering and everything. And when I heard that Davis has a robotics team, and I came into high school, that was the first thing that I set my mind to. I was gonna join that club and I was gonna do it.
Awesome. Victoria?
For me, it was growing up, I always went to Home Depot's family build sessions that they had during Saturdays. And my mom actually found out that our school was having a robotics team. So she told me, and she was pushing me very much. And then I joined a computer science course in school. So now I'm a lead programmer.
Awesome. So you do programming for the league, and Yari, what do you do there?
Well, I'm lead marketing and I also drive the robot.
Oh, fun. That's got to be the most fun job, right? And the team,
Yeah.
how did you score that one?
What do you mean? Sorry.
How did you become how did you become the remote control, the driver of the robot?
Well, I just thought about, I play some video games that have to do with like driving cars or whatever, like Forza and stuff like that. And then like when we had like test driving, I was like, all right, let's just try it out. Let's see how it goes. And then, yeah, from there, I
Great.
just liked it.
She's being modest. She smoked everybody else that was out there. And I should let you know, David, they have a very large team, but nearly all of the lead positions are held by young ladies on that team.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I hope that you become a magnet for other girls who see you in the roles that you're in. You're role models for everyone who comes behind you at Davis, at whatever school you're in, Victoria. Is it the same school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Well, everyone I'm sure is looking up to you, and they want to do what you're doing. So keep at it, and good luck in the competition. And remember that whether or not you win the competition, you are learning how to create the future of the planet, and the skills you're learning are just so fantastic. I'm such a fan of First Robotics, and I think that if you can build robots that compete in these leagues, you can build robots that do anything. So congrats.
Thank you.
Well, folks, it's been another exciting Curiosity Corner Live. Our very special guest today was David Cohen. He's a producer of a fantastic new film called Afghan Dreamers. You got to go out and see it. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us as well today.
Yes.
And for all of you at home, remember to stay curious.